An over 20-year-old Rolex, unpolished, mint condition. I just want to show you guys how to spot an unpolished example like this, and an unpolished example, in my eyes, is infinitely more rare than a polished example, because being that it's over 20 years old and being minimally worn throughout its entire life and never polished makes it quite special. So we're looking at pretty standard Rolex Explorer 2, reference 16570, and it's an A serial from 1999. So come in close. First thing we're always going to look at is what we call the chamfers. That is the part where we have the side of the case, we have the lugs, and then there's this 45-degree angle that connects those two pieces. That's what we call the chamfer. You're gonna see a hard edge on it, and a polished example would be rounded out. But we're gonna have that hard edge on all four corners, and then the lugs will have kind of this satin finishing that goes in a certain direction. Next thing we're gonna look at is the bezel of these watches. The finishing lines go outward. We call that radial finishing. Imagine like a sun shooting out its rays, and that is the line that you're going to see, the finishing lines on this. There's not many people in the world beside Rolex who can refinish these bezels, so when you see that original finish going outward perfectly all across it, you know that it's never been redone. And then also, similar to the chamfer, we have an edge that goes around the bezel, which is also a hard edge, and you can see its shape is still intact as you spin around the bezel. And then last thing we're gonna look at, the crown on the buckle. When these are polished, they start to get ground down and faded, but what we're looking for is for it to be super sharp and pronounced. So there are tons of these watches out there, but there are not that many unpolished examples out there.